Hatred destroys the one who hates. The others that you hated, go on about their business. Who care of us?
So the legacy of Medgar Evers is an understanding of our own humanity and of our own responsibility of seeing that in other people.
He is written out of history. He's just not included as Malcolm and Martin. To me, it's the 3 M's, and Medgar's right up there at the lead.
Everlasting, Life and Legacy of Medgar Evers. Watch now on MPB Passport. Visit mpbonline.org for more.
Every parent wants their child to grow, to explore, and to dream big. At MPB, we're proud to support families and teachers across Mississippi with trusted educational programming and resources that inspire learning and spark imagination. From PBS Kids Favorites to digital tools and early learning support, MPB is here for young minds, engaged classrooms, and families who believe in the power of learning at every age. Empowering families, inspiring learners. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning, Carol.
I believe we're in a Parisian cafe this morning.
Ah, yes. Here we are on Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.
Tell me about the music, Mal.
Well, you had sent me a cool little link to a story about Jacques Pepin and what he considers the 5 essential ingredients to always have in one's kitchen. And so I thought we'd lead off with the Jacques Pepin piece.
Well, you know, I was thinking, Mal, Jacques' birthday is in December, his 90th birthday. And it gave me the idea after you mentioned Jacques Pepin.
Last week.
Last week, I think we should mention him in his birthday season regularly.
Absolutely.
Maybe every week we could have one Jacques Pepin
moment.
Yes.
A Jacques Pepin moment. So the reason I'm so focused on Jacques is that I follow him on Instagram, and he does these cooking demonstrations in his home. I don't know how often he does them, but I see them every day. And I've just become an avid follower, and so I wanted to share that with our listeners, that if you're interested in him, and I like this 5 essentials that he says one must keep on hand.
Butter,
of course.
Number 1. Butter comes in at number 1.
One should never be without butter.
Yes. And
2 kinds of olive oil. He says there should be a high-quality extra virgin for finishing. And
like
then,
Elaine Trigiani's olive oil, just something you sprinkle.
That's right. Drizzle. To finish a soup or a dish. And then a less expensive one for cooking, for sautéing or that sort of thing. So 2 kinds of olive oil. We'll count that as number 2. Garlic. One must always
have garlic.
Onion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And finally,
some fresh herbs.
And
he doesn't really specify what kind of herbs, but what would you think Jacques would have on hand? Or is he like you? You like a plethora. You'll just grab whatever's handy, chop it up, and
go to the garden and see what's there. But if one doesn't have a garden, parsley, I think tarragon or oregano, those are more Italian herbs.
Rosemary,
always.
Rosemary and thyme for me.
Excellent.
Parsley, rosemary, and thyme. Not parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
And perhaps some shallots or green onion.
Yeah.
But anyway, one can pick their own fresh herbs. So butter, 2 kinds of olive oil, garlic, onion, and fresh herbs.
And you can pretty much do anything if you have that in your kitchen.
Most anything. Another chef that I follow, I wanted to share with you, is Molly Baz, or Baz, B-A-Z. Molly, M-O-L-L-Y, mollyBaz.com. She is really a rock star.
Now, where do you follow her?
I follow her on Instagram and on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
She also does a daily recipe, and I follow her. She's my newest sort of skillet buddy, other than you.
I've got to get with it now.
Yeah, Molly B-A-Z. She, I think, worked at Bon Appetit. She has 2 cookbooks out. Let's see if I can find them. But she's really fascinating young woman, and well, she's younger than I am. But
Everybody's younger than we are.
Everyone's younger than we are. But anyway, check her out. Also, I found and shared with you a video about butterbean pie, which
Now,
I'd never heard of.
I hadn't heard of it, and when you mentioned it, I thought about it for 42 minutes driving in today from Edwards. I could not imagine what you were talking about, but I thought, this is the mother lode. This is the thing we've been searching for.
Well, and it was a reel that I found on social media from a restaurant in North Carolina.
Yes, it is from the Old Colony Smokehouse
And this
in
was
Edenton, North Carolina.
Edenton. And this was their daily special. And what it looks like is chicken and dumplings with butter beans. It's a chicken stock dumpling butterbean dish served like a soup or
It just absolutely looked delicious. You could see the steam coming off of it. I think we need to challenge our listeners and maybe your wife, maybe Kara,
she can get into the butterbean pie.
Get us into
Well, more
butterbean and
importantly,
dumplings.
I'm just curious if anyone's ever heard of this dish. Maybe it's a North Carolina thing. I don't know. We had a lot of chicken and dumplings growing up, and we had a lot of butter beans, but never were they mixed. Now, the closest thing in my life that I could associate with this were the boxcar lima bean dish that my grandmother made every Sunday evening with ham in a big bowl served with cornbread. And it looked a lot like, it looks like chicken and dumplings, but it's boxcar butter bean and ham.
And
a
the
dish.
owner of Old Colony Smokehouse, who was talking about the recipe online, said it was his grandmother's. It was
Yes.
family recipe.
So if you know
maybe
anything
it's a
about
North
it,
Carolina thing.
yeah, you know anything about it? Want to talk about butterbean pie? 1-877-672-7464, or shoot us an email to food@mpbonline.org. Or if you have Carol's phone number, just send her a text. Now, I brought you some cake. Speaking of my wife, she baked a pumpkin spice cake and put some dried fruit in it. It's got dates and cherries in it. So I brought you and Marissa a slab of Kara's pumpkin spice cake. Very seasonal and very delicious. Also, I wanted to tell you that I went by Emerson Provisions and got some food
Derek
to go.
Emerson, Derek and Jennifer Emerson's new place.
Finally got by there where Little Effie's is, and Kara brought me home a stuffed pepper, and I'm going to tell you this: I never ever order stuffed peppers because I do not like green bell peppers, except to cook with. I don't like eating green bell peppers unless they are chopped up and cooked in a dish. But this one was amazing because it was a yellow, which means that it was ripe. It was a yellow bell pepper stuffed with beef, but more importantly, rice.
Yeah.
And my grandmother used to make these stuffed peppers using rice as an extender. It was a delicious dish, and it had a tomatoey topping with a little cheese. Delicious.
You know, I'm perplexed about your feelings about bell peppers, Mel. I did not know that. We've been cooking together for years. I had no idea. I just look in this situation as the bell pepper as a vessel. Mm-hmm. A vessel.
Yes, but the meat is cooked inside of it, so it picks up the pepper flavor. So if you're going with a ripe pepper, either a yellow or a red, or a green pepper, an unripened pepper, I just am not a big fan of the green pepper unless it's cooked. That's all.
Okay, you heard it here.
Others seem to love them, and that's all good by me. Now, here's something else I stumbled onto in my research this week. I read an article that said to put a few turns of sea salt in your coffee on top of the grinds before you make your coffee in the morning, and it takes away bitterness and adds smoothness to the coffee. And I agree now, having tried it, that this is a really interesting. Now, there may be people who say, man, I've been doing that all my life. Of course, we know all about adding
Or there might be
touch
people
of
who
salt.
say heresy, Mel.
Right. How could you possibly insult coffee beans?
With sea salt.
With just a little bit now, just a tiny little bit. But anyway, I've started doing it, and I'm enjoying it. But speaking of coffee, I was in Ocean Springs this past week for a meeting for the Walter Anderson Museum of Art, which I am a board member. And I went to one of my favorite coffee shops in the state called Bright Eyed. And it's on the main drag in Ocean Springs. This guy roasts his own coffee. He and his wife run this little hole in the wall. He makes waffles, but other than that, it's just coffee and waffles. And I bought a bag of his Brazilian coffee beans and brought them home. And I've been sort of blending a little bit with my chicory and experimenting with that. So I am always experimenting with coffee, and I love coffee and bananas, for example. I like to add a little coffee to a milkshake. But anyway.
Wait, stop. Coffee and bananas. Pray tell, Mel.
Well, it's just two flavors that I like to get.
Oh, you eat a banana and you drink coffee.
Together.
You're not putting a banana in your coffee
Negative.
like you are sea
Negative.
salt.
But I will put a banana in a milkshake and add a bit of coffee to it. Yes.
Okay, well, while you were in Ocean Springs, I was in New Orleans.
Okay.
And,
Well, of course.
Our friend Donna Barksdale and I went down to see Sir Paul McCartney
Wow.
play, and it was fabulous.
I can only imagine. I'm a huge Beatles fan, and of course a Lennon-McCartney fan. And anyway, I'm certain that it was just breathtaking.
It was really magical, and he is 83 years old.
Right.
And he put on a show. He was almost on stage for right under 3 hours.
At 83.
And he was just, he's such a cool guy. Anyway, he was just, very conversational. But, I mean, they played all night.
Yeah,
and the band was just incredible.
I'm sure it was an all-star band.
Well, it's a band that's toured with him, just toured with him for years. So it was a real mountaintop experience. And, as usual, when you go to New Orleans, Gotta eat.
And y'all ate at?
We did. We tried. I wanted to try something new, and we tried a place called Junebug, which is in the Warehouse District, and it's in an old recording studio.
How
and it's
appropriate.
Just highly cool bar. They had small plates, probably the best pimento cheese I've ever had.
Ever?
Pimento cheese and pecans.
Ever?
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It was
Junebug.
Absolutely delicious. And right before the concert, we wanted to, do something close by. So we went to a great Mexican restaurant called Tacos del Cartel.
Del Cartel.
Yes, like a
Don't tell
Mexican.
El Presidente.
Hey, about the cartel. But I had a soft shell crab taco.
Hey, you know what? A friend of mine had lunch at Local 463 the other day and said they had the best fresh soft shells. They must be in season, I'm assuming. 'Tis the fall, and I guess a good time for soft shells.
To be scurrying around on the ocean floor, that's great. But the best meal I had twice.
Oh, my goodness.
Walked to Molly's Rise and Shine.
I've been to Molly's Rise and Shine.
On
magazine.
I mean, there's just nothing like
Did you get the turnip green bowl?
Yes, I did. The breakfast plate.
Oh.
Okay, so I got many things because, research is important.
Of course. That's why we're here.
The roasted carrot yogurt was divine. Okay, it's a bowl of yogurt with, on the side, they put like the best granola in the whole world. And then they had pureed roasted carrots just kind of piped and drizzled around it. Delicious. But you are right. There is a dish called Scotty's collard greens and grits.
So good.
Picture this. A bowl.
If you would.
A bowl.
Go with us now, listeners.
I know it. A bowl.
A bowl.
With grits on the bottom.
Stone grind.
Oh, stone ground. Collard greens. They were delicious, chopped perfectly, seasoned perfectly, and collard green jus.
A jus
A
de
jus.
green.
Yes. Then with two poached eggs and topped with cilantro peanut salad.
Well, there you have it.
It was delicious.
I've had it. It's amazing.
I know. I can't quite get over it.
Well, let's not get over it. Let's just share and hope others can enjoy it as much as you and I
Molly's
do.
Rise and Shine on Magazine Street.
Now, quickly, we're going to run through a bunch of stuff here because after that, we're going to take a break. The Folk Festival is this weekend here in Jackson.
Yes, it is.
The 82nd Annual National Folk Festival, hosted in Jackson, Mississippi, all over downtown, free to the public. Hundreds of musical acts, dancers, folk traditions, lots of great food.
Great food. Great food.
So come on downtown Jackson.
Now, this is we want to invite our compatriots from all over the state, the surrounding states.
Within our voice,
yes,
you are invited.
Yes, you are invited to the party.
And let's see, I had breakfast, speaking of that, at the Traveler Cafe next to the Walter Anderson Museum of Art on, I think it was Wednesday. But anyway, it's delicious, kind of a new addition to the museum, a cafe called the Traveler. And, Carol, National Sandwich Day, November 3rd. And I want to say this I love sandwiches. I love to make sandwiches. But I love to put olive salad and roasted tomatoes on my salad in the fall and winter.
You mean on your sandwich?
My sandwich in the fall and winter, because we don't have lettuce tomato. Well, we have it, but it's not in season.
Yep.
So I'm suggesting go forth and make a sandwich, add olive salad and roasted tomatoes. They're really delish.
Well, I was pretty interested in November 6th. It's National Men Make Dinner Day.
I've noted that.
Why does that have to be a thing?
Well, because in the old days,
This is, old.
in the olden days, men weren't necessarily thought of as the cook, so they came up with a day. I think it's unnecessary, but noted.
Yeah, so hey, all you guys out there, November 6th, make dinner because it's National Men Make Dinner Day.
Yeah, and it's National Cappuccino Day on November 8th.
Well, what about November 9th? It is not National Chicken Day. It is World Chicken Day.
World Chicken.
World, International.
Yeah. So go out and eat some chicken. Okay, we'll take a short break. Come back. We're going to talk about food deserts and the good work at the Mississippi Food Network. We're going to talk about the SNAP situation. We will not get political, but we will just share facts and details about hunger in Mississippi and the good work that the folks at the Mississippi Food Network do. We'll take a short break. Carol and I will be right back with more Deep South Dining, heard right here on MPB Think Radio.
Hatred destroys the one who hates. The others that you hated, they go on about their business. Care of us.
So the legacy of Medgar Evers is an understanding of our own humanity and of our own responsibility of seeing that in other people.
He is written out of history. He's just not included as Malcolm and Martin. To me, it's the 3 M's, and Medgar's right up there at the lead.
Everlasting, Life and Legacy of Medgar Evers. Watch now on MPB Passport. Visit mpbonline.org for more.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back, neighbors, to MPB Think Radio. This is the show entitled Deep South Dining, featuring Carol Palmer and Malcolm White and others.
Yes.
We have a whole cadre of friends out there who are listeners and participants in Cooking and Coping, our Facebook page. And recently, one of our very favorites, Mike Wagner, posted about a donation he made. Carol, you want to tell us about that?
Well, first of all, Mike Wagner is our friend from Sumner, Mississippi, and he grows rice, Two Brooks Rice Farm, and also he is one of the best cooks, and we know this because we see his food on Cooking and Coping every week, and,
yes.
it's just stunning. And of course, it always involves rice,
Of course.
of some kind. But he had a post yesterday, a gorgeous steak, a big old bone-in steak cut like they do in fancy, like in Peter Luger's and other restaurants, in slices with a beautiful rice dish. But he was talking about our food insecure friends, and for years he has been donating massive quantities of rice, and he's doing that right now. And just a shout out to Mike. A couple of years ago, I was going to go down to Hattiesburg. They were actually having a rice bagging. Delivered like a ton, a ton of rice.
Is that part of the extra table?
It was part of extra table. But
Yeah.
Mike, we so appreciate what you do, and both Malcolm and I would really like to come have dinner with you if you're cooking.
Sure. Yeah, we'll come sometime. But there's, this is a moment in our country where, Congress is at an impasse, and it is greatly affecting the SNAP program, making food available to people in need. So there are a lot of people out there doing the Lord's work. Certainly Extra Table, Mike Wagner. But also the Mississippi Food Network has been at this business since 1984, and they distribute more than 1.5 million pounds of food and feed more than 150,000 people every month, a total of 1.8 million people per year, and that's important. And with us today, Stacy Jordan, right?
Actually,
You're
I'm
Cass.
Cassandra Mobley. Yes.
Sorry, Cass.
No,
I have
that's
two
okay.
names before
Yes,
me. And
Stacy is
Stacy
out listening.
chose to listen, yes, instead of coming in here with me, but that's okay.
well, Cass, welcome to the show, and thank you for the work you do. Please tell our listeners a little bit about what the Mississippi Food Network does.
Sure, I'll be happy to, and thank you guys for having us on today. So the Mississippi Food Network is the Feeding America food bank for the state. We're located right here in Jackson, and you just talked about some of our statistics of how many people we serve monthly and that kind of thing. We serve 56 counties in the state, which is a lot of counties, most of them rural. And we also do that through over 400 partner agencies, so churches and nonprofits in the 56 counties. That's who is doing the boots on the ground work. And we just acquire large amounts of food and help them with that. We distributed 27.2 million pounds of food last year. And translated into meals, that's about 25.6 million meals. And we do that, all the time. That is what we do.
That's what you do day in and day out.
Day in and day out. This particular time that we're in right now is a different situation and crisis than we've ever been in. And, you're thinking, when we're thinking about this, it's November 1st. First was Saturday. Today's the 3rd. There are federal employees that are not getting paid and no rent's due. They're not getting paychecks. Then we have our SNAP recipients who use that to put food on their tables.
And tell our listeners what SNAP stands for.
So it's a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and that is done through Mississippi Department of Human Services here in Mississippi. And there are about 355,000 SNAP beneficiary families that qualify for SNAP in our state. We don't serve that many of them, but I would imagine many of them will be reaching out to us and to our partners in the next week or so. They've started reaching out last week, wondering what kind of help we could give them. We can't fill that gap. We just don't have the capacity for the millions of dollars of money that goes into SNAP every month. But we can stand in the gap with our partners to try to help as much as we can, and that is what we're planning to do. So we are activating some reserves that we have to be able to make sure we have enough food to answer at least supplementally, what people need through our partners. So our partners are reaching out to us as well. How do we address this need? What can we do? We are working with them. That's probably the best thing about the Food Network is we have such a fabulous network around.
It's truly a network.
It is truly a network, and they are best. I would just say they are just the best people to work with when there is a crisis. We do respond to disasters, so we have some things that we do around that. We're kind of approaching this like that.
Well, it is a disaster.
It really is. I mean, it's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of people wondering what they can do and how they can do it. So this is our
and a
response.
lot of the families are working families
Many
that qualify for SNAP benefits, and you're talking about also
seniors,
military, seniors,
disabled. All of it. It affects a lot of people. It affects a lot of people that are your neighbors, and you may not even know it. It just is one of those things that affects so many people.
So, how are y'all set up? I mean, how many employees do you have at the Food Network?
So right now we have 43 people that work at the Mississippi Food Network.
Are you part of a national?
We're a state agent,
Okay.
state nonprofit. We work here just in Mississippi. We are affiliated with Feeding America. We are an affiliate food bank, yes. When I started at the food bank in 2003, there were 16 people that worked there, and now we're up to 43.
Wow.
And we were distributing about 13 million pounds of food a year back then, and now we're at, we have distributed up to 30 million. During COVID, it was over 40. So our network is just best at reaching out into their communities, and that's what we're for, is to help them have the supplies that they need to help with that. And, right now that's what we're standing here wanting to do. And if there are families that are listening to this today that are in need of assistance, they can go to our website, msfoodnet.org, and there is a locator, food assistance locator, and they'll see it. We've got it where it's right on the front of our website where they can click that, put in their zip code, and it will give them some sources that will be able to help them with food. If that doesn't work out for them, they can certainly call the food bank, and we've got sources available for them. But that's also where the community can go if they want to help. We had some Instacart groceries delivered this morning right before I left the office. There were several bags and cases of canned food items that were delivered by Instacart from some people that we don't even know who they were. They just delivered them through Instacart. They came in, and the community is really responding to this. People just can't imagine. It's the holidays. And can you imagine not knowing if you're going to have enough food to be able to put a holiday meal on the table for your family? And that's where we are, and we don't know how long this crisis is going to last. I do hope and pray it's very temporary, and I think it will be, but
Right.
even temporarily, the people that are affected by this don't recover from things like this very quickly. So that's kind of where we are, to try to help stand in the gap of that and provide what we can.
Where does the food that you send out come from, and what kind of food is it?
Yes, so we get donations and we purchase food. So we get food, all that, in all those different ways. We also have 2 federal programs. One is designed for seniors. We get food in designed to go out to seniors. We send out over 12,000 senior boxes every month through that
What is
program.
in a senior box?
The senior box contains shelf-stable items that are designed for senior hunger, like canned vegetables, canned fruits, grains, like oatmeal and grits and things like that. It also has has juice in it and some sort of pasta, and usually either shelf-stable milk or dry milk, something where they can get that dairy. It also comes with cheese, so they get cheese with it separate from the box. We also partner with a lot of those agencies that when we have it available, we will send fresh produce along with that. And the seniors that get it really love it when we send the supplemental fresh produce. But we, as a network, get in, canned items, dry items, all the shelf-stable things. But we also get in a lot of protein, frozen protein. We distribute a lot of that. We also distribute a lot of fresh produce. So 35% of the food that we actually give out every month is fresh produce. And we do that through a couple of different ways. One of them is through a local partnership through Mississippi Department of Agriculture. And they help us connect with local farmers to be able to get locally produced product, not just produce, but locally produced product that we're able to distribute through our network.
So is this donated, or do you pay for this product?
A lot of it's donated. We got in, I think, 13 pallets of fresh salad mix, I think on Thursday or Friday, because it was something that the store that ordered it didn't want it for some reason, and so they gave it to us, and we got it distributed very quickly. So we have the ability to get these type items in and get them distributed very quickly.
So how many trucks do you have, or vans, or trucks?
We have 6 whole trucks to serve 56 counties. So we do a lot with a little. Yeah, we're very busy. Our trucks are going somewhere every day. And we have a very efficient, very effective distribution model. I mean, we've been in business over 40 years. Last year was our 40th anniversary. And I can imagine that the people that founded the food bank back in the early 80s probably would have thought, if they had the ability to distribute 27.2 million pounds of food, that they'd have enough food for everybody in the state. But sadly, that's not true.
No longer.
No.
Just to remind our listeners that what we're talking about in terms of the crisis is the government shutdown, which is weeks in the making now, where our elected officials cannot agree on details about how to fund the government. And so it has caused this ripple effect of this particular crisis of cutting out the supplemental SNAP program, which is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which I think we're in the top 10 of states that have the most SNAP recipients. I know Alabama, New Mexico, other Louisiana or other states in the top 5. And so it's a major crisis for the state of Mississippi, and many people, including the Mississippi Food Network, are busy trying to fill the gap, which is an enormous gap. And one of the notes that I have in mind work here is that for every dollar donated, it provides 6 meals to hungry Mississippians. That's amazing. $1 feeds 6 people.
It is amazing. And that is just because we have such a fabulous community of donors and people that support us. I mean, it couldn't happen if we did not have that. Mississippi may be one of the states that people look at as not having a lot of resources and a lot of things, but we're home to some of the most generous people.
Yes.
You know, Mississippians come together to support Mississippians. Right. They always do.
Yeah, I think we're one of the leading states in terms of donations, most of which goes to churches, but nevertheless, we are a giving state.
That's
I think we're in the
absolutely
top
right.
2 or 3 of that.
The statistics are just daunting. 1 in 6 Mississippians don't have enough to eat.
Yes.
And 1 in 5 children go to bed hungry most nights. That's That's tragic.
You know, this is how close to home all of this is becoming. In your life, it is a major crisis for the Food Network. My wife teaches, well, she's a counselor in a Jackson public school. Now, JPS has a program, and they're trying their best to feed students. But part of my wife's job as the school counselor is to oversee their food pantry. Mm-hmm. And it is at an all-time low, and she is always asking friends to donate to this JPS food pantry. Because this time of year, this particular moment in time in history where the government is shut down and the SNAP benefits are running out, is putting enormous pressure on her little food bank there at her school. So anyway, it's micro and it's macro. So
it is, and that's what I think a lot of people may not. You know, it's a federal crisis. You know, it's coming down nationally. You know, there's a lot of national things going on. Then it's state level. You know, because it's impacting what happens at our state agency level. But then when it's affecting the people in the schools. The children that they, are supporting is affecting the teachers and that, what do they have to offer, some of these families. We have a couple of programs that we run for those things just during regular times. One of them's the backpack program, and so children that are identified as not having food over a weekend through the backpack program. We serve about 2,100 children a week through that backpack program.
So do you give them, do they pick up a backpack or come?
We have sponsors in schools that actually pick the food up from us, and then it goes back to the school, and they actually give that food to the child at the end of the week to take home over the weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Carol, we're going to take a short break, and we'll come right back. We want to ask Cass Mobley to stick around. I hope you will.
Sure.
And we'll have another segment here. We've got Dr. Edgar Smith on the phone. Dr. Smith, if you can hang on a second, when we come right back, we'll take your call. We'd love to hear from you. We always do. So we'll take a short break, come right back with more Deep South Dining here on MPB Think Radio, and have a conversation with the Mississippi Food Network and all that is going on across the state regarding the crisis with the government shutdown and the SNAP program being interrupted. We'll be right back with more Deep South Dining.
The nation's oldest traveling celebration of the arts, the National Folk Festival, is coming to downtown Jackson November 7th through the 9th. Discover the sights, sounds, and flavors of our nation. The full lineup is now available, featuring blues, gospel, Puerto Rican, Irish, Southern Soul, Bluegrass, Korean, Zydeco, Flamenco, HBCU marching bands, Choctaw, Go-Go, and more. It's unique and unforgettable fun for the entire family, and it's free. More at nationalfolkfestival.com. Together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining here on MPB Think Radio. We are glad you have joined us this morning. We got a caller. We're going to lead this segment off with a caller from one of our great friends, Dr. Edgar Smith. What's going on, my good friend? It's good to hear from you.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call. I want to be brief, but I just want to congratulate you guys for really taking on a very, very timely subject, namely the SNAP crisis. That's one that issue is very close to my heart because, as you know, I'm a product of the Mississippi Delta, and I came from a background where those kinds of activities were very important in helping the families that my family and families that I knew and that I worked with. So I'm so happy that you guys are doing that. And I've always been proud of what the Mississippi Food Network has done. Inez and I have been strong supporters since we came back to Mississippi. Matter of fact, we put a check in the mail this morning.
Good for you.
Thank
good
you.
to them. And yes, our good friend Dr. Beatty was there.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but more specifically, as you know, Malcolm, the Blues Foundation has a benevolent fund, which my committee administers. I don't know if or how we can become helpful in this situation, but if we can, you can bet we will.
Well, I appreciate that. Always good to hear from you. I hope all is well. Thank you for your comments. And, keep on keeping on. The benevolence program at the Blues Commission has done a lot of good work. And the idea that maybe it could help during this crisis would be something for the commission to take up, but certainly worthy of someone putting some thought into that. Marissa, I don't know anybody's name today. Carol, what's yours?
Your problem, Mel.
Marissa, please, if you would share a comment you said we got from our YouTube watchers.
Yes. As most of our listeners know, we are live streaming to YouTube, and you can chat with us that way. And one of our regular live stream watchers, listeners, left a comment saying, Mississippi Food Network food is delicious and fresh, too. I've been enjoying it, and I'm most grateful for it. So, we've got people all across the spectrum who listen to us, people who are in need, people who are able to help. So it's
That's
a great
great.
topic.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate our listeners and watchers who are with us every Monday morning here on Deep South Dining. Again, we want to welcome back Cass Mobley with the Mississippi Food Network, and we were talking, Carol, about what ways that listeners and people who are so moved could get involved.
Yeah, I'm going to let Cass tell us about that. We were talking on break.
Sure. Well, we have a website set up, and it's if you are looking for food assistance, if you need some food right now, you can go to our website, and it's msfoodnet.org. And when you bring it up, that's the first thing you're going to see is a button to click on to take you to a locator where you can put your zip code in and find a food resource. So I want to make sure everybody knows that is there. But you can also, if you want to help, if you're a member of the community that wants to help, with some resources for this, you can also donate there. So our website, which is msfoodnet.org, is where you can donate. And it's very easy. It's a click Donate Now button, and you just click that, and it walks you right through it. You're able to put notes in there. So if you want to let us know where you're from and what area, you're really concerned about, you can do that as well. We serve 56 counties. So if you are I will say this too, if you're in a county and you know of a church or a organization that is helping people directly right there in your county, support them.
Sure.
They need your support. We'd love for you to support them as well. But if you want to support the Mississippi Food Network, we serve 56 counties and a lot of the state with the the food that we're trying to get in to help these people with that.
You can also mail a check like
sure
Dr.
can.
Edgar Smith did this morning.
And thank you, Dr. Smith. That was wonderful to hear. And it's just great to know that that he was so aware of what the Food Network does. And the Delta counties are some of our counties that we serve, and there's a lot of need there. And we ship a lot of our food to those areas as well.
We were talking about volunteers, and you said you pack how many boxes a month?
Yeah, well, we packed over 12,000 boxes a month for seniors. So we need volunteers to do that. Of course, that's an everyday thing, packing these boxes. But we also pack backpack meal kits for children. So we ship out about 2,000 backpack meal kits a week for children that have been identified as being without food over a weekend. And I can imagine that with this crisis right now, that's probably going to get worse. I know, like you mentioned, JPS and some of the schools have, put some resources in place to make sure that kids are getting those meals. I know that there's some other organizations that are not even hunger organizations, restaurants and other organizations that have put information out that they'll help families during this time, and it's so needed. We need to come together as a community to do this and not just rely on one source.
And to volunteer, you also go to the website.
You can also go to our website.
Click on a button.
Yeah, our website just kind of does it all. So it's you can volunteer there. If you go to the website and you can't quite find what you're looking for, you can always call the Food Network at 601-353-7286. And you can ask, I want to volunteer. I want to donate.
Say it again.
Yes, it's 601-353-7286. And the young lady that answers that phone will get you to somebody that can help you. And if you want to talk to me, tell her, just ask for Cass. That's okay, too.
Well, and your website is very easy to navigate. For example, there's a button, Carol. You can just click on $50 and it feeds 300 people. And that's about as easy as it gets.
We'll be clicking, Mel.
That's fantastic. Glad to hear that. Thank y'all so much for having us on today.
I know. Cass, I'm interested in how you got into this line of work.
Oh, wow. I got into this line of work 22 years ago. So, came to the food bank. At the time, I just needed a job, but I got there and I found so much more than just a job. It's just been a calling. And I've worked my way through the food bank kind of on the operational side of things. And COVID really changed our lives. It was very different when COVID happened. And what I've seen through the years of doing this is the reliance on food pantries or for additional food. The charitable food system has changed so much in probably the last 10 to 15 years, where it's becoming more and more about the neighbors that are in need. Because, as we all know, before this even happened, with inflation and, things happen and out of your control and they affect you. It could be gas prices, it can be grocery prices, all the things. There are so many people in Mississippi that live on fixed incomes. If you're on a fixed income, your income doesn't go up and down, right. To address that. So for us to be in Mississippi and to be able to do what we do, sometimes, we get involved in our day-to-day and work and we're behind the desk or whatever. But we also do some direct service we call mobile pantries. We go out into communities and take the truck out loaded with food and we give food out. Just come to one of those mobile pantries and interact with some of the people that come through there to get food. And first of all, to see how grateful they are that somebody's even thinking about them. But second of all, to hear their stories. A lot of times it's grandparents who are taking care of grandchildren and they're living on a senior fixed income and they're not getting any benefits, but they're taking care of these grandkids, And then sometimes it's working families. They're working jobs, but they're having a hard time putting food on the table just because of the actually what they make and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that we're trying to help everybody, and everybody's situation is different.
Sure.
It was interesting that you were talking about somebody had Instacart deliver, that is clever, creative, and so wonderful.
Yes.
But really, the best way is to donate because you can buy food in bulk and you can get it quickly.
Yes. We can buy volume buying by the truckloads. We're a big warehouse. So we're able to receive, big truckloads of food that come in, and that's what we get in. It's truckloads. And we can buy by volume, which helps us to do more with the money that we get. And it's really easy to donate, and it's easy for us to turn it around. And right now we're looking at food that we can get in that's got a quick turnaround and get it to the food bank.
How do you distribute food when people just bring food to the center?
We do it the same way we do everything. We bring it in, we weigh it, we give them credit for what they brought us, whether it's 20 pounds, 200 pounds, or 40,000 pounds. We do it the same way, and then it goes into our inventory system, and we make it available to our partners to get it from us to give out.
So you began in 1984. What's a bit of history about the network? Who started it? How did it get going? Are you a standalone nonprofit, or are you with the community foundation, or what's your structure?
Well, we do partner with the community foundation, but we are a standalone nonprofit, and we've been here since 1984. So a group of concerned people saw the need for a warehouse to acquire food, because at the time in the early 80s, a movement was going on about all the food waste. You know, there was food out there that wasn't being that could be consumed but wasn't being, and was, you know, being thrown away. And so that's kind of how the food bank came into being. Is a lot of the folks that had something to do with founding Stew Pot and those organizations in Jackson had the Mississippi Food Network were part of that founding. Gotcha. And so one of the things, we have a board member, Molly McWade, who, yes, I'm sure you know her. So she was, you know, part of that group, and she's now on our board again, and she tells the story of she and her friend who would load food up in the back of their station wagon and deliver it around, you know. And she told that story to us one day just offhandedly in a board meeting, and we were all just floored by... She just, you know, it's what they did, and now look at what we're doing, you know. And
that's
and the
funny
because
Boyd Campbell actually posted a photograph on his Facebook page. His mom and Molly McBride Molly McWade, and this group. This was back from the 80s. There was a photograph of them in the Clarion Ledger that he posted.
Just a fantastic group of people. They've been at it for a long time.
For a very long time.
Yes, they have. They're fantastic. And just to be able to go full circle with Reverend McWade to come back to what we're just still doing. And she's just a wonderful person. But that's how that started. And we're continuing to work and do. Needs have changed, but we're just addressing them differently now.
And we'll be thinking about and supporting all of our great organizations, Mississippi Food Network, Gleaners. I saw their truck when I was on my way in this morning, running around, Extra Table,
JPS,
and all the people.
So many people.
There's so many that are
helping their neighbors.
Yes, it is.
Well, we start out with French cafe music, and we end with a sobering story about hunger in Mississippi. We thank you for joining us each and every Monday. We also air on Sunday mornings. This is Deep South Dining, and we are a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio. We're made possible by the generous contributions from folks like yourself, and we are grateful. So for Marissa Vaughn, our producer, for our guest, Cass Mobley, and my co-host, Carol Palmer, this is Malcolm White saying please stay tuned now for Everyday Tech at 10, Southern Remedy at 11, and please join us each and every Monday and Sunday mornings at 9 for more Deep South Dining, heard right here on MPB Think Radio. Have a fabulous day.